So, Tyrese Maxey is the best shooting guard in the NBA. Yeah, some of you are like, what? He's a point guard. Well, no, he's just slotted as that due to the 76ers roster, and in today's NBA, you have guys who play the point guard position but are better categorized as a shooting guard. With Maxey not being a pass-first guy or someone who mainly looks to manipulate the defense to set up his guys for good looks, you end up getting this ticking time bomb who can explode at any time, and the thing is, he can explode in different environments as well. Let's say you come across that bomb in the open floor. Well, here's where you can use a simple crossover to make you bounce off the hardwood while you watch him go score. When you feel like you're in position to guard him, he'll use that threat of attacking downhill to make you shift your momentum that way, only to then use a crossover to make you spin around, and when most defenders would assume you would drive to the rim, he takes the road less traveled to plant before getting into a pull-up. Other times, he'll take his time while using the handle to then launch it from 28 feet for the dagger. And then, when you least expect it, he shows you just how powerful the force is when he detonates.
12 and Maxey throws it down with the left.
All this here just shows you the different levels he can score at, and from each level, he's highly efficient. From deep range, Maxey is knocking down 37% of his nearly 9 threes taken per night. From the mid-range, he's dropped in 44% of his 142 shots. And when getting inside, 64% of his 347 attempts in the restricted area are converted. Yeah, those numbers are quite ridiculous, and he's doing this while scoring pretty much 30 a night. To some of you, those stats mean a lot, and to others, it may just be extra noise in your ear. But there's one thing that you can't deny, and that's the thing that you see with your own two eyes. And for us watching, we're able to see it through film. But for defenders, he moves so fast that you might miss him if you blink. When the floor opens up, it's pretty much an open field for Tyrese to navigate through to go get touchdowns, and you see it immediately once he gets the ball. Against Milwaukee, Maxey is still in the backcourt with only 5 seconds left to get a shot off. Now as you can see, Embiid is coming up to set a screen. Now if he's to go off this right side, he would not only be trapped by the sideline, but then he would also have his man and Embiid's man to trap him aggressively. So by going left, he only really has one guy to beat, and with that speed, it's nothing for him to explode right around the screen to get started downhill, and now he's laying it in. When he's coming at you, it's really that change of pace paired with the handle that can all out break you before he glides inside for the bucket. And then when he wants to get a little crafty, Maxey will show the ball up top to make Black get in the air, and then he lays it off the glass on the other side to use the rim for protection. Listen, it's important that in these fast break scenarios that Maxey can showcase his ability to get to the rim at will, because now when the defense is so worried about getting beat to the basket, it'll open up this gap between them, which I like to call the ATM, because once rising up, you already know it's straight cash. I know, not only is Maxey a threat from inside when gunning up the floor, as he's just as comfortable pulling up when given the space, and that's what makes him so dangerous. As on one hand, he might switch directions with the low carry to then place it right off the glass past the defender, and then next time, it'll be a deep ball pull up when your defense is too late at stepping up. All of this is like the jumpstart to his game, as once he really gets the ball rolling, there's practically nothing you can do to stop him. I'm sure all of you have heard the saying before, there's many ways to skin a cat, and if we flip it to basketball, there's many ways to score the ball. For Maxey, those ways become endless, especially once he gets in rhythm. He may use the deception of the DHO to reject the screens and then blow by his man to convert an acrobatic layup. Other times, he may use the screen to catapult himself into a three-pointer. And then, say there's no screen at all, Maxey can stop on a dime to spin back when it looks like he'll be cut off by both defenders. And with all that space on the turnaround, this is pure money. I mean, let's be real, scoring from all three levels like this takes an absurd amount of skill, and when creating from each area, it takes many different moves to be able to generate a good look at the rim. Immediately when watching him, you'll notice how good he is at navigating on the floor, as when he gets stopped going right on this play, he retreats back for a brief moment to then probe the same way, but this isn't to try and attack going right. It's all a setup to get his man moving that way before spinning back towards the middle of the paint, and at this point, he can use that floater or go straight up at the big man, but Maxey decides to throw in that Euro to get to the other side to finish. Skills like this are exactly what you need to be effective in today's NBA, as when you're a bona fide scorer, teams will always try and plug the gaps you're trying to shoot through, so you have to be able to flow into different moves that get you to your spot so you can capitalize. When you have a guy like Maxey on your team, it can help you win big if you place trades on Polymarket. As when the Sixers played Indiana the other night, I know the Pacers are actively trying to tank as their record is 15-44 on the season. But when they were up 38-30 at the end of the first quarter, I traded in as the Sixers' odds dropped to 47% to win the game. He scored 25 points in the second and third quarter combined with 50% shooting to give Philly the 106-85 lead at the end of the third quarter, so I instantly cashed out at 97% odds for 106% profit. If you want to trade in and out of games like I do in all 50 states, make sure you download the app from the link in my bio to get to the top of the waitlist. Trust me, every guard in the league needs to be able to beat defenders no matter what is thrown at them, whether it's the combo handle that breaks a defender from deep.
Oh man, Tyrese Maxey is cooking.
Or in some situations, it may be the speed that initially beats the defender, but now when surrounded by 3 defenders, Maxey beats one by bringing the ball from the left side to the right. He keeps it low so Barnes can't block it from the backside, and then he goes up on the other side of the rim so none of the defenders stand a chance at contesting him.
Maxey and the foul!
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? Now when diving deep into what makes Maxey unguardable at each level, you have to start at the base, and that would be his ability to get to the rim at will. You can see immediately with the use of that jab step how powerful his attacking is, as it makes the defender bite hard every time he serves it, and then by the time he actually decides to attack, he's past the defender and at the rim in no time. This explosion out the handle to get downhill is second to none in the league, and if you try and cheat the play by getting up high on the screen, all you do is give yourself front row seats to the easy slam. Trust me, defenders can do all they can to keep him out the paint, such as just flat out switching the screen, allowing a bigger man to be on him, but Maxey will use his body to launch off the defender to lay it in. Other times, he'll use that high arcing finger roll before meeting the big so they can't even get to it. And then when he evades the cutoff by spinning into the paint, he can use that left hand to place his ball high off the glass, just making it look easy. As a defender, you'll have your defensive skills tested time and time again when trying to force him into bad situations, but with such handle and speed, Maxey can break you at any time he desires, and this can all out make you feel helpless. The more you try and take away that drive, the more tired you get on the floor, and this is when the creativity goes to the next level. And that creativity I'm talking about really starts to show when you look at how he operates in the mid-range. Because when defenders start loading up to take away that drive, they're essentially handing Maxey a gift that he'll cash in every single time. You try to stand your ground when he attacks, well he'll bump you to then fade back, giving himself just enough separation to get the shot off clean. If you try to body up with him with a bigger defender on the switch, he used that contact to his advantage by bumping the big before rising into a fadeaway that you just can't contest. And then when he gets the dribble combos going, well, just forget about it. The thing about Maxey in the mid-range that separates him from a lot of players in his position is that sidestep. Most guards will only try to create space going backwards, but Tyrese can go sideways with it too. And because he can go either direction, the defender really can't stop this. He'll sidestep away from the big at the rim to avoid the block, he'll sidestep into a fade when the drive gets cut off, and sometimes he'll stop so abruptly on a dime before pulling up that your momentum just carries you right past him, and by the time you recover, he's already in the shooting pocket. And wait, when you throw in that spin move on top of all of this, that's when things really get ugly. Whether it's spinning off a stop drive into a pull-up or doing a full spin fade when the defense plants in front of him, Maxey is finding ways to score through every crack in the defense. Like seriously, you genuinely cannot give him any setup to work with because he'll convert no matter what the situation looks like. But listen, as much as all of this is devastating on its own, what really amplifies his game is the floater. They have to guard him tighter, they have to be more physical, and that's exactly the invitation Maxey needs to start floating the ball over the top. When he attacks to close out with that burst of speed, your only real hope as a defender is to get in front of him before he reaches the paint, but even then, he's so quick with that gather that by the time the big comes over to protect the rim, Maxey is already floating it over their reach. And the crazy part about it, it doesn't matter how big or long the defender is. Whether it's a 7-footer sitting in the paint or a wing trying to recover, Maxey will time his float to perfection to get it up before the contact. The versatility he has with the float allows him to play both sides of the basket with equal effectiveness, and because his gather is so deceptive, it's almost impossible to tell whether he's going up or floating it until it's already off his fingers. But here's the thing that really wraps everything together. All of this is happening off the ball too. Maxey doesn't always need the ball in his hands to be a problem, and that movement without the ball is what takes his game to a completely different dimension. He understands spacing at an elite level, and he knows exactly when to curl tight around a screen to attack a closeout, when to reject the screen and use his speed to blow by his man before the defense can react, and when to go backdoor when the defense cheats. Off the handoff, he's truly a nightmare because that combo of speed and burst means that once he receives it, the window to contest him is already closing. He doesn't need 2 or 3 dribbles to get into a shot all the time, as he can pull up immediately off the catch from 28 or 30 feet out. And defenders who aren't there the second the ball arrives are just spectators. When you add in his ability to work off Embiid, he's a menace too, because Joel's gravity draws so much attention that Maxey is coming off the screen half open before the play even develops, and then with his quick trigger, you already know that's a bucket. Even in late clock situations, he'll find a way to get a shot off, whether it's sprinting off a screen to create just enough daylight, or pulling up right off the inbound when the clock is nearly dead. That give and go with Joel is another weapon in his bag, as he'll use the threat of the handoff before cutting hard to the basket to catch the defense completely off guard. And if you ask me, this is what makes Maxey the kind of player that makes defenses have to stress out all the time. Because the second your attention drifts somewhere else, he's already found his spot. And when you combine all that with his 3-point shooting, man, this is where Maxey truly becomes unguardable. Because think about it, defenses already have to respect the drive, they have to respect the float, they have to respect that mid-range pull-up, and now they have to guard him all the way back to 34 feet out. Like, let's be real, the range this man has is just unfair. He'll pull up running off a screen from deep if that's what the defense gives him, and he'll knock it down with the same confidence as a free throw. If we talk about the step back 3, it's probably one of the most lethal weapons in his arsenal, because it takes everything the defense is doing to stop him and flips it against him completely. If you backpedal to give yourself room to guard the drive, step back 3. And if you try to chase him over the screen and you're a step late, well, it won't be a step back, but it is a butterball. And don't even get me started on that combo handling to the step back, because it's on another level entirely, as he can create that shot from literally anywhere on the court with no screen, no setup, just pure handle to make the defense stumble before rising up. Yeah boy, that's really what makes Tyrese Maxey the best shooting guard in the NBA right now, as it's not just one thing, it's everything working together at the same time. The drive opens up the float opens up the mid-range opens up the 3, and the 3 opens up everything all over again. Defenses are stuck in a constant cycle of lose-lose decisions, and Maxey is the one turning the wheel.